So if you didn't know, I am the founder of the Market Authority Academy, where I have coached personally over 500 real estate agents in the US and Canada. Now, the Market Authority Academy is like my main focus outside of my personal real estate production. So I kind of have a foot in both worlds as an actively producing real estate agent and an actively coaching coach for other real estate agents. And what I wanted to do for this video is walk through some of the questions and challenges that we have recently overheard in Market Authority Academy and walk through a little bit of live coaching for those questions here on the YouTube channel. Now, if you want to see details on the Market Authority Academy, who it's right for and what we do in there, check out the show notes. It is what we call a hybrid mentorship program where not only do you get weekly coaching directly with me, but you also get an actual tangible business blueprint that is going to walk you through step by step how to grow and scale a business that changes your life and helps you achieve your full potential as a real estate agent. Let's get to it. Okay, so this is such a great question that was asked recently. She said, does anyone have any insight or tips on raising your average sales price? And I love this question because this shows that this individual is thinking a little bit more strategically about how to earn more income by doing at least the same amount of deals or maybe even less because she wants to change her average sales price. She says, well, my units and GCI have gone up this year. My average sales price did not, partly because of some land deals and working with an investor, and I would like to increase that next year. She also goes on to say you do the same amount of work, sometimes more, for those lower price points, which I'm sure you can relate. If you can, let me know in the comments. So the question is, how do I increase my average sales price? She also goes on to say that about 40% of her business comes from open houses. And one thing that I would start from there is, just as what she's saying, identify where your business is coming from. So if a lot of your business is coming from open houses right now, then what we want to do is kind of shift a little bit of where she might be doing open houses. And that would be one of the first couple of questions that I would ask. Where is she doing open houses? Is she doing it in an area with a higher price point? That's kind of like the easiest place to begin, so that maybe by doing open houses in an area where you have that higher price point or maybe a different type of clientele, that will be really helpful. Now, in that is kind of the second question that I would ask. Tell me a little bit more about the actual clients. Lead sources are one thing, but who are you looking to target? Now, if a lot of the content, for example, that you're putting to your database, like in your newsletter, for example, or if a lot of the content that you're putting on social media is very first-time homebuyer driven, like if you're creating content for a first-time homebuyer, if you're speaking to current renters, for example, then imagine the type of properties that they're likely looking to buy. They're likely looking to buy starter homes at smaller price points, which is natural. And so you might want to consider adjusting that ideal client to maybe a segment of the market that has a higher net worth. This might be looking at that, this is my favorite ideal client, those move-up home buyers who are looking to sell their starter home and then buy their big boy home. These individuals usually have a sales price when they're selling of around $500 to $700 and then buying at over $1 million, which is like a sweet spot for me. And that's where I want to be, right? So start thinking about your ideal client and whether or not you are creating content that is speaking to people who are looking to transact in the type of properties that you want to be known for selling. Those would be the first places that I would want to start in that scenario if you're looking to increase your average sales price in 2024. Okay, so the next question that I got was from an individual who's been in this program for about a year. And she says, hey, I'm seeking advice as this requires investment. I mentioned endless times that I want to start a YouTube channel. I love YouTube for real estate agents, and this has been a big part of her plan, certainly for 2024. She got really inspired by a YouTube coach, and she wants to know if she should invest in YouTube coaching or just get started with the YouTube channel. And she says, I just know that I want to go with YouTube because a lot of people relocate here due to the military in her area, the military presence in her area. it would be so much easier for her to attract her ideal clients and get that conversion. And instead of what she is doing right now, which is interacting in a lot of Facebook groups and just doing a lot of like word of mouth marketing. And so you might have this question too. Well, I want to start a YouTube channel and I want to go all in, but in order to do it the quote unquote right way, do I need to hire like a whole coach, or do I need to buy a whole program about it? Here's the thing that I have for you. It's really going to come down to your budget. If you have the budget to invest in a YouTube coach or invest in a program that's going to teach you the ins and outs of YouTube, then you should probably go that route. It makes sense to invest in the things that are going to give you a good return. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to think of here. When it comes to YouTube, it can take about 6 months to really see a steady stream of leads coming in for your YouTube for your real estate channel. And one of the agents on my team who's a realtor under me has been absolutely committed to growing and maintaining her YouTube channel. She has done it in such an admirable way. I'm so proud of her. And she is just now 5-6 months into it and is getting those leads. Somebody literally called her asking if they could hire her for their purchase that they needed to get on stat. It's not even just getting random leads, it's getting committed clients asking you to take them on. That's what I love so much about social media and digital marketing, like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff. If that's what you want and you have the funds to invest, then go for it. I will tell you that my life changed when I invested in video editing. Zeke. So I come here to a studio. This is not in my house, even though it looks like so beautiful. This is an actual studio that I drive to once a month or every 6 weeks or so. And I pay XYZ Media to, free plug, to edit and produce my videos and help manage my YouTube channel. I've been doing that for 3.5 years now, and it has been the best investment because it has really forced me to stay committed to the process for the long term. Now, that being said, I couldn't afford to do that right out of the gate. And what I did was I self-produced my videos for a while because I was still so committed. Like, the commitment level was there. I had the time because I hadn't had kids yet. That's another thing you got to consider. And because I had the time to do it, I would literally record my videos for YouTube either on my phone or on just the camera that we had at our house. I would record them in the kitchen. I would do all the editing myself. I would pull my hair out for about 8 hours trying to edit these dumb videos. And I was really consistent in it. And I did that for about 2 years before I decided to hire someone on it, and I wish I had done it a lot sooner. So what it comes down to, in my opinion, is knowing yourself, knowing your goals, and knowing your budget. If you can afford to do it and you want to go all in, absolutely, go ahead and do it. Just be prepared for it to take a while and stay committed to the process. It's going to take about 6 months for that to get a return for you. Now, if you don't have the budget, but you're just as committed, don't let perfection keep you from starting. Start recording your videos with your phone as long as you have a newer smartphone. You can even spend $15 on Amazon to get a little lapel mic so that your audio is nice and crisp. I'll leave a few links to some of the gear that I use in the caption below. And that is alone going to give you a great start. Your goal then in 2024 is to get consistent. So posting a video a week for 6 months and then making adjustments over time. Then when your budget allows, go ahead and invest. So again, just to tighten that up, I know that was a long-winded answer. If you can invest, absolutely go all in. I think that the sooner you start your YouTube channel, the happier you will be. Now, I'm saying that because I'm assuming you love the idea of being on camera and recording and it doesn't feel like a chore to you. I wasn't always this good at recording, but I always knew that I was committed to doing it. So if it's something that you actually hate and getting in front of the camera is the scariest thing ever, then why are you asking the question? Don't do that. Do something else. There's a million other ways to generate leads. Okay, so here's this last question that I had. This was more like a challenge that they're experiencing. And this individual has been in the business for about 10 years, so a seasoned real estate agent, but they had never really built up their database. And if that sounds like you, then you are a perfect fit for the Market Authority Academy. The Market Authority Academy, we work with new agents, we work with agents with a few years under their belt, and we work with seasoned agents who are masters of the industry, but not quite masters of business. And if that sounds like you, then we need to talk, because we can help you hit some really cool goals in 2024 and beyond. All the details to book a call with my team and apply with us are below. Now, this individual, as I said, 10 years in the business, has never really created a database. They've been winging it, they've been flying by the seat of their pants, and they haven't really done a great job of keeping in touch with their past clients. Their question here is, how should they look to get in touch with individuals that they haven't really kept in touch with, and how many referrals should they be looking to get next year if they can really nail that communication side? So let's start with the first question. How do we get in touch with past clients who you feel like would refer you given the opportunity, but it's been so long since you've spoken to them, it might feel funny reaching out to them at this point? They're not probably paying attention to how long it's been since you spoke, okay? So I recently had a client event. I hosted a client event, and it was the first client event that I've hosted for my business in almost 3 years, because I've been busy having babies and there was a pandemic and the whole thing. We have these clients there that I literally haven't seen in almost 4 years. And I know that it was almost 4 years ago because one of them is in the medical space, and at the time, it was early 2020, and he said, have you guys heard this thing about that coronavirus going around? I think it's gonna be a big deal. And before we knew it, the entire world shut down. And I always think of these clients because of that. Now, because they were right in the mix as the world was shutting down, I will admit they kind of fell through the cracks. And so when I was reaching out to them to invite them to this client event, I just reached out to them and said, hey, I can't believe it's been so long since we've chatted. It's been a minute. How are you guys? Let's get together with a client event. They said, that sounds awesome. We'll be there. Tell us where, tell us when. Don't assume that people care so much that you haven't spoken to them. They're not paying attention. Everyone's got a busy life. Everyone's got stuff going on. And don't assume that they're going to come right out at you and say, well, it's been 3 years. Why should I hang out with you now? That's probably not going to happen. Just kind of throw it out there. Hey, it's been a minute. Hope you've been well. I'm looking to re-engage with some of my key clients in my business, and you were one of the first to come to mind. Allow yourself to remove the burden of guilt or shame, because it's really, it doesn't need to happen. It's kind of unnecessary, and just reach out to them very casually and try to strike up a conversation again. Now, in terms of how to do that consistently, if you have not put together your database, so if all these people are like randomly thrown into a spreadsheet somewhere or like saved as random contacts in your phone, then you should probably be a little strategic on putting together your database. And in fact, check out this video where I shared the blueprint to doubling your business. One of the key initiatives is actually putting your database in place. And if you are looking to really grow your business without doing a ton of investment or generating like 10x the amount of leads, then that might be the video for you as a seasoned agent who just wants to make sure that you're earning more money by doing much of the same. It starts with your database. It starts with having these conversations, getting that database organized. So get that spreadsheet in order, upload them to a CRM if you haven't, and start communicating with those individuals regularly. I'm talking a monthly email blast. I'm talking twice a year, send them a personal note or a personal phone call. Reach out to them on their birthday. This does not have to be anything crazy or lavish. You just have to be in front of them and let them know that you care about them. If you do this, what you should see in the first year is around 10% conversion, meaning, let's say you have 100 people in your database, you should get about 10 deals from them in the first year. By the second year, that can increase up to about 15%, and by the third year of really nurturing this database, you should see about 20% per year, meaning for every 100 people you have in your database, after 3 years of nurturing, you will see about 20 organic deals coming from those from referral and repeat business. That is very, very typical of the realtors that I coach in the Market Authority Academy. So that would be the metric that I'd be looking to hit. And I would start with getting out of your own way, reaching out to everybody who you haven't spoken to in a while, and seeing if you can deepen those relationships and get back in their good graces to start marketing to them consistently. Now, if you want a little bit of this personalized guidance and coaching in your life in 2024, then we need to talk. Book a call with me to learn all about the Market Authority Academy, and we will spend that time talking about you. I want to hear all about your business. I want to hear about your goals and your challenges in 2024, and if it seems like I can help, then I will share more about how you can move forward with us for coaching in 2024. All the details are in the show notes. I cannot wait to see your name pop up on my calendar. Thanks so much for tuning in. Till next time, keep on crushing it.